Lagos Task Force conducts enforcement operations, clears traffic impediments on Itire Road. Federal government endorses Bakassi Deep Seaport project. On the foreign scene, left-leaning leader wins Sri Lanka's presidential elections. And in sport, organizers urge athletes, officials to showcase African spirit at ongoing 2024 FASO Games in Lagos. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State Task Force has conducted a successful enforcement operation at Lansing bus stop along Itire Road, where commercial buses, popularly referred to as downfall, had caused untold traffic inconveniences to motorists. The operation, led by the chairman of the agency, Adetayo Akerele, which extended to Aino Street, Morishade Street, and Oseni Street, addressed long-standing complaints about illegal parking and commercial vehicles obstructing traffic around the axis. Akerele assured residents that the Lagos State Task Force remains committed to sustaining this traffic correction currently being carried out by the agency. He also urged motorists and commuters to remain compliant with all road and traffic laws across the state to ensure that the roads remain safe and motorable for all. A total of 51 vehicles were impounded, while the drivers will be charged to court for varying traffic offences. To enhance traditional medicine practices and foster interstate collaboration, a delegation from Kano State has visited the Lagos State Traditional Medicine Board (LSTMB) for fact-finding and knowledge sharing. Welcoming the Kano delegation, Registrar of LSTMB, Babatunde Adele, said the visit is a significant step towards sharing knowledge and expertise in traditional healing methods. Adele noted that it is encouraging to see such interstate cooperation in preserving the rich healing heritage for the advancement and growth of both the region and Nigeria at large. Speaking on behalf of the Kano State delegation, Salisu Ahmed said the visiting team aims to gather insights that could be applied to further develop traditional medicine in the state and region. Ahmed added that all the activities his team had engaged on had provided them with a comprehensive understanding of the regulatory framework, treatment protocols, and licensing procedures followed by the LSTMB. Lagos State government has urged stakeholders to embrace peace and shun boundary disputes that may result in chaos and disorder in the state. Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Rural Development, Bolaji Robert, gave the charge at a sensitization meeting on harmonization of peaceful coexistence between border communities in Lagos State. Robert, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Kikelomo Bolarinwa, affirmed that the state government, through the ministry, has continued to ensure peaceful communal existence and zero-level communal clashes that can arise from boundary disputes in the state. He urged participants to desist from disrupting or rejecting the outcome of the inspection to determine boundaries between the various parties, and should also initiate advocacy programs within their communities to educate community members on this. Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja for New York, United States, to attend the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. In a statement signed by the Vice President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Communications, Stanley Nkwocha, President Bola Tinubu directed Shettima to lead the Nigerian delegation to the high-level global forum. The statement said this is to allow President Tinubu focus on addressing pressing domestic issues, including the recent devastating flood disaster. During the session, Vice President Shettima will deliver Nigeria's national statement, participate in key meetings on the sidelines of the event, and engage in bilateral meetings. The UNGA with the theme, Leaving No One Behind, acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainable development, and human dignity for present and future generations will take place from September 24 to 28. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has endorsed the Bakassi Deep Sea Port Integrated Project. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegboyega Oyetola endorsed the project during a stakeholders engagement organized by the Cross River State Government in Calabar. Oyetola, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Olufemi Oloruntola, emphasized the strategic importance of the Bakassi Deep Sea Port, noting that the project is an infrastructural initiative aimed at transforming Nigeria's maritime sector and boosting the nation's economy. He said the project has the potential to be Nigeria's first agro-value chain-based deep-sea port. The minister added that the project includes a 217-kilometer superhighway, which will serve as the evacuation corridor to the northern region. The Nigeria Hydrological Service Agency, NISA, has released updates on rising water levels of River Benue, saying the water level is already getting to flood levels. The agency also warned that states and local governments must activate preventive measures to mitigate the impact of the expected flood. In a statement, NISA said it will continue to update Nigerians on the flood they will experience and counseled that the needful should be done before the worst happens. It appealed to Nigerians to clear their canals, drainage channels, and gutters to mitigate floods. The Conference of Speakers of the Pan-African Parliament of the African Union has expressed solidarity with the victims of the flood disaster in Nigeria and others affected by similar tragedies and natural disasters across the African continent. This was contained in a statement signed by the President of Pan-African Parliament, Fortune Charumbira, at the ongoing 12th Annual Conference of Speakers of National and Regional Parliament in Midrand, South Africa. According to the lawmakers, the floods in Nigeria and other parts of the continent have highlighted the urgent need for a comprehensive response to natural disasters driven by climate change and inadequate infrastructure on the continent. And now to foreign news. Left-leaning politician Anura Dissanayake has won Sri Lanka's presidential election after a historic second round of counting. No candidate won more than 50% of the total votes in the first round. Dissanayake, who promised voters good governance and tough anti-corruption measures, emerged as the winner after the second count, which tallied voters' second and third choice candidates. The election is the first to be held since mass protests unseated the country's leader, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, in 2022 after Sri Lanka suffered its worst economic crisis. Until this weekend's vote, all of Sri Lanka's 8 presidential elections since 1982 have seen the winner emerge during the first round of counting. And now sport. Athletes and officials participating in the ongoing 11th Federation of African University FASO Games, tagged Lagos 2024, have been urged to connect and build lasting relationships as well as showcase the very best of Africa in sport. Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Folashade Ogunshola, who made the call at the opening ceremony of the Games held at the Unilag Sports Centre, Akoka, described the 11th Games as historic because it is the first to be co-hosted. Ogunshola also charged athletes to unite, compete and excel. Said the Games will again project Nigeria's cultural heritage among the community of African universities. Co-host and Vice-Chancellor of the Lagos State University, Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, restated the significance of the Games, saying it transcends mere contest for medals or desires for accolades by athletes and teams, but underscores a common history and humanity and celebrates Africa's unity in diversity. While declaring open the Games, Egyptian Minister of Sports and President of FASO Games, Ashraf Sobi, said he expects the Games to be fair and competitive, while also promoting good collaboration among the athletes. The Lagos 2024 FASO Games, been hosted by Unilag and LASU, has in attendance representatives from countries such as Ghana, Mauritius, Angola, Zimbabwe, Egypt, Kenya, Zambia, Guinea, and Nigeria. Just before we go, slow down at road junctions, intersections, and pedestrian crossings. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, on YouTube. Subscribe and watch us live on our channel Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a mentorship seminar for over 1,000 youths on the theme Agripreneur, Strategy for Wealth Creation? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government's website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Task Force has conducted a successful enforcement operation at Lansing bus stop along Itire Road, where commercial buses, popularly referred to as Danfo, had caused untold traffic inconveniences to motorists. The federal government has endorsed the Bakassi Deep Sea Port Integrated Project. We also told you that left-leaning politician Anura Dissanakaye has won Sri Lanka's presidential election after a historic second round of counting. And in sports, athletes and officials participating in the ongoing 11th Federation of African University FASU Games, tagged Lagos 2024, have been urged to connect and build lasting relationships, as well as showcase the very best of Africa in sports. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adewale Olowokoroku. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening. Please stay safe. Good evening.